Hey everyone. I think I've got the most ridiculously stupid comment ever on my channel yet. It's on an old video. A video I put up about the general costs of living this lifestyle like I do. And somebody decided to argue my costs with me. As if he, was in my bank account and my wallet and knew all this. But he pretends to know better. So I'm going to read his comment to you. It's from Doug McGinn. It's public. He put it on my YouTube, so I'm going to read it to you. From Doug McGinn. Depending on your state of residence, you may or may not have to pay property taxes on your RV. First of all, I'm in Canada, buddy. Property taxes on your RV. I've never heard of such a thing, but okay. Yet you neglect to mention that expense. So let's be honest about the entire pipe dream that you're saving money somehow. That's your without an apostrophe R-E. Come on, buddy, learn how to spell. Within a few years, your RV will become worn out and begin to require major repairs versus minor repairs. The vehicle will also depreciate in value annually. Depending on how many miles you put on the vehicle, you will need all new tires semi-annually with an occasional mishap requiring a new tire. Oil must be changed regularly. Batteries go bad. Generators go bad. Generators require fuel and maintenance. RV must be registered annually. Septic systems require chemicals as well as maintenance. Unless you have scoped out parking places and have permission to park, you will require an RV park. Wow, this guy's out to lunch. Vehicle insurance. Insurance on your personal belongings is probably going to have to be resolved with your agent because I'm sure they have a limitation on belongings. What? And I know for a fact you are not getting 16 miles per gallon with that vehicle in the city. Calling me a liar now, hey? At the end of the day, you are not coming out ahead simply due to the depreciation and wear and tear on your vehicle, using it not only as a commute vehicle, but as a home also. With all of that said, neglecting to factor in fuel costs is misleading those who would entertain this lifestyle. Your fuel costs are going to be at least double with this size of vehicle over your old 6-cylinder Mustang. That electricity to power all your gadgets doesn't just magically get placed inside the battery. It requires either charging them with the generator that runs on fuel, or in your case, being it's a van, you would have to leave the engine running to charge the batteries. And seeing all the lights and gadgets you seem to have, I'm certain you're burning a load of fuel. Start being honest and stop misleading people. Where do I even start? Oh my. This is absolutely ridiculous, but it's funny as hell, so I have to respond to this. Okay. First of all, let's just take the average rent. Like here in Vancouver, the average rent could be anywhere between $600 and $1,200 a month for a one-bedroom apartment. So, I don't have to pay the rent. Now, I do have to pay for gas and insurance. But insurance on a motorhome like this costs far less than on the Mustang, buddy. Far less. And the gas costs more than driving a car around, but it equals out because of two reasons. The insurance costs less, and number two, you can control how much you drive and where you drive. If I want to park all month right near my work, I can do that. I don't even have to drive to commute to work. I commute to work because I decide to park somewhere else I'd rather park and then drive to work every day. But I could park literally right around the corner from work if I wanted to save money and not spend any gas all month. All right? First of all. Second of all, RV parks. What the hell are you talking about? Have you not watched this channel? This whole channel is about urban camping, as in avoiding RV parks at all costs. I would never be caught dead parked in an RV park. I have a steering wheel, you see that, in my living room. So that kind of negates the whole idea of living mobile and having the freedom to move around. So not only that, I don't want to be stuck in one spot. And plus, I'd have to have another vehicle to get to work. It doesn't make any sense at all. Parking? There's tons of parking. I've been doing this for over 16 years, on and off, and there's no shortage of places to park. This planet's pretty damn big, you know. There's street parking all over the place. There's suburbs. There's no shortage of parking, my friend, and that's why I go for a 21-foot Class B like this, or something small enough that you can park on city streets anywhere, or parking lots anywhere. So not a problem. So I just saved between $600 and $1,200 a month rent right there. So suddenly gas cost doesn't matter anymore. All right? Yes, I got better mileage with the Mustang, but I also had to pay for rent. I also had to pay for hydro, electricity, and utilities. home internet, all the bills associated with renting a place, plus the car insurance, which costs more than the motorhome, plus the gas in the car, which was a little less than the motorhome. So what? I do get 16 miles per gallon in the city. I said between 14 and 16 miles per gallon, 16 at the best if I don't gun it around. I've seen people with Class B Dodge wide-body RVs who have easily averaged about 18 miles per gallon. It's not hard to do. You just gotta, you just gotta know how to drive properly. Now, that being said, I used to live in a Class A and a Class C, both with big block engines, and I got less than 10 miles per gallon, and I was still ahead, way ahead, because I'm saving $600 to $1,200 a month in rent. What don't you understand about that? If you're saving all that money in rent, put it in the bank and go, wow, look, I've got $600 to $1,200 now to spend on gas, maintenance, insurance, and everything becomes cheaper. So even if I was only getting 5 miles per gallon, I'm still way ahead than I was before. Battery power? Running my engine to run my lights are on, the sun's out, I really don't give a crap. My music is on hang on a sec. Have you never heard of solar panels? It's not exactly a new invention. I have 2 of them, and I have deep cycle batteries. I drive this to work when I work a few days a week, and the rest of the time on a day like this, I'm sitting here in the sun. My batteries are fully charged before I even wake up in the morning. I don't have to run my engine. It's free. I'm not paying a utility company to give me electricity. Wake up and smell the 21st century. Even Tesla is now about to release home battery systems so your house can be off the grid, just like I am in my motorhome. And what's this about the bathroom, the toilet chemicals? For Christ's sakes, I mean, we're talking what, $5 for a bottle of chemicals that last me a couple of months? I mean, all of these expenses that you've named off, you still have when you're living in an apartment or a house. You have to maintain a house. In fact, the cost of maintenance and repairs on a brick and mortar building is usually far higher than an RV. Small motorhome like this, no problem, Maintaining my vehicle. Guess what? It's cheaper to do anything on this than it was on the Mustang or pretty much any other commuter car. Dodge Ram vans were made for 32 years with the same basic design. The parts are interchangeable from year to year for the most part, and from pickup trucks and whatnot. If I need a starter for this, I can get the starter and install it myself in 20 minutes on the parking lot, and the starter will cost me less than $100. Mustang, forget it. I mean, everything is easy and cheap to maintain on a vehicle like this. So that argument holds no water at all. Of course you have to pay for maintenance, but you still had to pay for maintenance when you had a car and you were paying rent. Okay? So the costs are the same, but you don't pay the rent. And in some cases, the costs are less and you don't pay the rent. So you're saving even more money. And because I save so much money on rent, I can afford to buy toys like the nice TV, the fireplace, my solar panels, all my lighting. Yeah. I never had the money to do this stuff before to my old apartment that I was paying someone else to live in. And let's not forget the most important fact of all. Even if this costs the same as living in a house or an apartment, and my expenses were just as high as living in a house or apartment, this lifestyle still gives me more freedom. Being free is not about not having money and not spending money. It's about how you spend the money and the amount of freedom you're getting for your dollar. I would rather spend $1,000 a month living like this than $1,000 a month renting an apartment, because the $1,000 a month for this gives me freedom. I'm free to live where I want, and I'm free to turn my key on my days off and head out of town. It's a beautiful thing, and I don't have to worry about the house, paying the hydro bills, paying the utility bills, paying... I don't have to pay for a second vehicle. All right, and now we didn't even take into account the fact that most people who rent apartments and drive to work 9 to 5 every day are even leasing their cars and financing their cars. But let's just say, for argument's sake, that you're talking about the average person who owns their car and actually paid cash for it outright and owns it, like I did for this motorhome. All right, they're still driving to work 9 to 5, at least 5 days a week, to pay for the house they're not occupying at least 5 days a week, 9 to 5. They're not in the house majority of the time, yet they're working their life away to pay for that house. How ridiculous is that? And as far as replacing tires goes, well, what difference is it between me and you with your car? Except that I can afford to replace the tires whenever I need to because I don't pay rent. And by the way, man, maybe you should learn how to, type sentences with paragraphs because, you claim to be so intelligent and articulate. Just a little heads up. So, Doug, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put your comments in the toilet. I'm going to pour some of these extremely expensive $5 chemicals all over them, and I'm going to flush them down where they belong. Bye-bye! And to the rest of you, keep on rocking the free world. Love ya. Hey, so what do you think of van life?
Van life's f***ing awesome.